So should I discuss all the questions or some specific questions are to be discussed? Nikhil, Nishant, Likita, Rachi. Kavita, Kiran. Should I discuss all the questions or some of them? I am waiting for the response.
Sir, please discuss all the questions so that we know the proper answers, exact answers.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I guess all of you have checked your marks, and now let me discuss all the questions. So in your first MCQ, the first question was which of the following is not a basic characteristics of a distributed system? So you might have remembered that when we discussed this particular concept, we discussed that there are three basic characteristics of a distributed system, and those characteristics were concurrency, no go clock, and independent failures. So hence the first option is scalability, which is the one of the challenges of a distributed system, is a answer. Okay, so this characteristics of a distributed system. Okay, so this one is the right answer. Now the second question is, in physical clocks, UTC time is based upon your universal coordinated time is based upon your atomic time. Okay, it is not based upon your solar time or the Greenwich Mean Time or the global positioning system. It is based upon your International Atomic Time, TAI. Okay, hence the option second is correct. Now in third one, uh, take an abstract perspective in order to describe solutions to individual issues faced by most distributed systems. So as we discussed, the moment we just try to describe the uh, mostly faced issues or the distributed system or the most also distributed system, then we just try to capture them in the form of a model. And we have discussed this sort of thing in your fundamental models. Okay, if you try to remember, then the problems related to your interaction came under interaction model. The problem related to failures came under failure models, right? So like this is the description of your fundamental models. So hence option 2 is correct. Okay. Now, which of the following is not a middleware in distributed system? So the first option was remote procedure call. Second one was remote method invocation. And third one was common object request broker architecture. And the fourth one was Solaris. So Solaris is an operating system. It's not a middleware. And the rest of the three, the upper three are the middleware of a distributed system. Hence, this one is the right answer because I have asked that which one of is not a middleware. Okay. Then in this question is the worst possible failure semantic in which any type of error may occur. So we have studied that Byzantine failure is the worst possible failure semantic in which any type of error may occur which we were not anticipating. Okay. Now in this question, as per the Christian's algorithm of external synchronization, in the following time diagram, at what time client will set its clock. Okay, so if you remember the formula was the T server plus T1 minus T0 divided by 2, right? So what we need to do, first we need to find out T1 minus T0 divided by 2. So it will come around 400 by 2, that means 200, and then this 200 you have to add to this time, because we are going to set the time of the client by this time. Okay, so we'll be updating this clock by this time, and apart from that we'll also include the round trip time, which is 200. Okay, so the exact time is going to be 10 12 6 2 0 9. Okay, so this is going to be the answer. Is that fine? Now, in the next question, as per the Berkeley's algorithm of internal synchronization in the following time diagram, at what time master clock will set its clock when the time bound is T, D is less than 12 minutes. So since the time bound has been given to you and which is less than 12 minutes, so in this case, how many clocks will qualify to appear in the calculation? So I guess the master clock, the clock B, then the clock C and the clock D, right? Because clock E and clock A are going out of the bound, right? So the moment you take the average of these 4 clocks, it will come around 8:15 only. Okay, so the answer is going to be 8:15. Now, in this question, in symmetric mode of network time protocol, for the following time diagram, what will be the delay? So, as you remember, if you can remember, when we were discussing the NTP protocol, the delay which we have calculated earlier, for example, this one is the delay, the first delay, and this one is the second delay. So, what you need to do, you need to calculate M and M dash. We are referring M is the first delay and M dash is the second delay. M while sending it, M dash while receiving it. So the total delay is going to be M plus M dash, or you can say D plus D dash. Okay, if you just follow the nomenclature, then we can say it that D is the first delay while we are sending the message, and D dash is the second delay while we are receiving the message. Okay, so the total delay is going to be D with capital D, which is D plus D dash. So in this case, it is going to be this time minus this time, and then this time minus this time. So when you will subtract this time with this one, around 100 millisecond. Okay, and here as well it will come around 100 millisecond. So 100 plus 100, it will become 200. So the answer is going to be 200 millisecond. Okay. Then in network time protocol, which of the following is used to synchronize between the time server? So the answer for this one is the symmetric mode, since this is the fastest mode and we are talking about the time servers. Okay, so we will go for the fastest mode to synchronize the time, and this one is symmetric mode. So symmetric mode is the right answer. Okay. Now, one time diagram has been given to you and you were asked to calculate the value of E12. This is E12. Okay, and these were the options. So since I have asked you about the event which is happening, which is occurring at P2, so that means the vector V2 will come into picture. So V2 is there. Then at E12 we can see that the information of P1 which we are getting is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 will be there, means the first vector quantity will be 3. For P2 it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 will be there. And what information we are getting from P3? We are getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence the option 1 is the correct one. Okay. Now, in this question, our diagram is given to you, and a consistent picture of the global state is defined by the set in the following diagram. And this is the mathematical expression through which we can define a consistent state of a consistent picture of a global state. So this was the cut which has been given to you, and number of options were given to you. So you were supposed to find out the set which is consistent one. So as per the definition, the consistent picture is a picture in which all the events, for example, if we talk about this event, okay, so there is no problem that E1 is going to be consistent since there is no dependency. And for this pair of messages, this one is the sending one and this one is receiving one, and this one is also falling in H, there is no problem. Okay, fine. Similarly for E23 and E3, there is no problem. Okay, fine. For E17 and E4, again, since this is a sending one and this is a receiving one, so as per the definition, if we have got an event and with respect to EI, if we have got another event EJ which has happened before EI, then it has to be the member of this set H. Okay, so since all these events, for example, E15 has happened before E17, and since E15 is already a member of H, so this one may represent the consistent picture. So similarly, you have to test for each and every one. Okay, so where we have to just see, we have to see especially the thing for this one. Okay, so just try to focus on E25. So if E25 is there in a set and we have got an event E11 which has happened before E25, right, and this is the cut, so it has to be there. E11 has to be there. If and on if your E25 is there only, then this is going to violate the condition of the consistent picture. So what I mean to say is, whichever answer has got E25 is the wrong answer, because in order to include E25, you also need to include E11. Otherwise, the answer will be wrong. So in all these options, here is E25, here is E25, and here as well we have got E25. In the first option, there is no E25. So the first option will be the correct answer. Okay. Now, next question is, in the context of logical clocks of distributed system, which of the following is not a true condition? So we can see that when we studied the Lampert's clock, this one is the condition, right? So if we have got two events E and E dash, then the respective clock values or Lampert clock values are going to follow this particular relation, right? So this one is true, and we have seen this one as well in the happened before relationship, right? So if E has happened before E dash, and again E has happened before E double dash, then we can say that E has happened before E double dash. However, there was a mistake in this question, but even after that mistake, this question will remain valid. Okay, it was supposed to be E dash, but anyway, even in this condition, it is true, because E, we are saying that E has happened before E dash, and E is also happening before E double dash. So directly we can say that E has happened before E double dash. Okay. Now if you remember the vector clock conditions, the ordering relations and all, then how do we define the ordering in vector clock? We define that if E and E dash are two events where E has happened before E dash, then we can say that the corresponding vector values will follow this relation in this condition only. Means this is possible if and only if this is valid, otherwise not. So this one is true, this one is true, and this one is also true. So this is the wrong one, and this is the correct answer for this question. Okay, you guys were supposed to pick this one. So if you got this condition, then not always we can say that this is true. Okay, but for this thing has to be valid, this condition has to be valid, means this condition has to be followed. Okay, so you guys were supposed to take this option. Now next question, what will be the global state of P3 using Lamport snapshot algorithm after E2, where E1 has happened before E2, E2 has happened before E3, and E3 has happened before E4, and this diagram was given to you. So
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the previous question, for vector clocks, we have double implications, no?
Yes.
Sir, so the right answer would be single implication one.
Yes, this one is the right one. This is the wrong one.
Option D, no?
Yeah, option C is the wrong answer. Option C is the wrong answer. We have to have the single implementation, not the double one.
Sir, but for vector clock, we have double implication, no?
Just wait.
Hello, sir. Sir, the question asked about the false answer, sir. So answer must be C आना चाहिए, sir. हेलो.
Yeah, hello.
हाँ सर, ये आदर्श जो कह रहा है सर, वो ये कह रहा है कि आपने सी क्यों किया है, पर क्वेश्चन में फॉल्स पूछा हुआ है कि नॉट अ ट्रू कंडीशन, तो सी होना चाहिए क्योंकि उसमें डबल इम्प्लीकेशन है.
सी सही है, वेक्टर में डबल इम्प्लीकेशन है.
नहीं तो वेक्टर से अपन कैसे निकालेंगे अगर अपन को दो वेक्टर वो दिए हुए हैं, वेक्टर दिए हुए, तो अपन उसके वैल्यू से नहीं निकाल सकते ना, अपन को उसके हिसाब से वैल्यू निकालनी पड़ेगी.
लैम्पोर्ट में एडवांटेज यही था वेक्टर में, वेक्टर का एडवांटेज यही है कि वो लैम्पोर्ट में डबल इम्प्लीकेशन होता है.
I will check on it. Okay, then I will make the changes accordingly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us discuss the next question. So what will be the global state of P3 using Chendin-Lamport snapshot algorithm after E2, where this is the condition? Okay. So in this question, you guys were asked to have the global state after E2, right? So if you just try to observe that each and every option has been given for E2 only. So where E2 is happening, E2 is happening at P3 initially, right, for sending events. So that means P3 has to be there. Okay, fine. Then before E2, E1 has happened. That means these transitions will be there in the channel. 50 will be there in the channel, right? And since E2 has also happened, so this transition will also be there in the channel. So if you just try to observe clearly, then this option and this option should be true. Okay, 50 and 200 should be there in the channel. And then since it is happening on P3, so since in both the options P3 is there, okay, fine. Then after reducing P3, it has to be 450, right? And it has to be 550. So you can see over here 600 is written. So since this option is true, okay, the first one is the right answer. Okay. Then which of the following statement is not true? The first option is generally in a distributed system, communication is done using message passing. This one is true. Distributed system global clock concept. This one is also true. Event ordering is chosen over physical timestamps in distributed system. This one is also true. And last one, causal ordering can define a total ordering. This one is false. This one is not true. Okay, so causal ordering cannot define the total ordering. We call it as a partial ordering. Okay, there exists some parallel events as well. So in the last question, if we need to collect some basic information or have to perform some primitive task in an efficient way from 1,000 computers placed in a lane, then which of the following will be useful? So while discussing the variations of your client server architecture, we have discussed that there may be number of applications where directly downloading the code to the system, what we can have a small code, okay, and that small code may go to number of systems and may perform some basic operations. Okay, it is not necessary to connect all those systems and then physically one by one we are going to that system and then doing the task. Rather, what can be done, we can have a mobile agent. Okay, so the basic job of a mobile agent is to perform some basic calculations or some basic execution on number of systems. Okay, so in this condition, this one is the most appropriate answer, mobile agent. Okay, so coming back to this question, I guess this one is right. Okay, because we have to have, means this is possible if and only if, and this is the right condition. Just hold on, guys. Yeah, hello. So I guess this one, since the condition is if and only if. Okay, so this is the condition for if, and this is the condition for if and only if. Okay, so this one is the right one. Option C is the right one. So I guess we have discussed all the questions. So if there is still any doubt, then you guys can ask. Any questions, students? No questions? Nilesh, Krishna, Mayank? I'm waiting for the response. Nishant, Prachi.
No, sir. No.
Okay, guys. Then I'll end the class here since we'll be covering the topics along with the MTech students as well. So let's meet next week. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.